Gotham, a crazy podcast about DC, with your hosts E-Rock and PD. When we speak up, get your geeks up, cause you know you about to get geeked up. So sit back, relax, and get comfy. Lose your mind like Solomon Grundy, and listen to a show that won't be forgotten, coming straight out of Gotham.
In the DC universe, welcome to another wonderful episode of Straight Outta Gotham, episode 170. We are a fandom pop culture podcast and a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by batman-on-film.com. Please check out all the other shows associated with the network by heading on over to BOF, clicking that podcast drop down, and giving everyone a little bit of your ear. I am your co-host from the other side of Hudson River. I am mourning the loss of Jack Hughes as we speak on March 3rd. 2025. I'm Peter R. Vera. It was a great day till I got home. I'll tell you that much. That was a bummer. But we have a great show for you today. I'd like to remind you, all our faithful listeners, if you take the time to rate and review our wonderful podcast here on Apple iTunes, and we read your review on there, you want our monthly prize pack. So please check it out. Give us a listen, give us a roast. Just please participate to the algorithm. But now let me introduce you to my partner in crime, Long Island's best, the champion. It's been a while. The time traveler himself, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Holzman. Welcome back.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know when you've been gone, when you've flown. I feel like we've been so busy lately. I can't even remember I don't know if we did a show last week. I don't know if we didn't. I just we're so inconsistent right now, but yeah, it's pretty crazy, schedule-wise at least.
Yeah, it has been a very weird schedule this year for me. Last year I had more of like, I knew when I was going on trips, and this year it's been much less, at least for work. It's been much more of a quick impromptu thing. So was not expecting it, but then it creeped up on me. And normally I don't go on the weekends, but last weekend it was. So there you go. But I am back, at least for now. So yeah, we have an exciting show planned. It is Oscar night. Well, it was. We're recording technically. It's after midnight, so we're recording on the 3rd. Okay. The Oscars were on the 2nd. So it's still Sunday night technically for us. And yeah, the Oscars happened. They couple surprises. If you're a fan of the Oscars, you know there are much better people who cover that stuff. Obviously our friends from the Vigilante, both Nico and Nick Zedek, they do Oscar stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go check out for them. But the only thing that didn't happen, and once again, I say this a lot, and I'm just going to say this real quick off the top, because I know a lot of people don't care about the Oscars. I really
Did Nolan win anything?
But it was on. No, Nolan. It's not about Nolan. It's not a Nolan
It's always about Nolan with you.
All I will say is I saw all of the movies nominated for Best Picture. And I know you didn't like the movie, Pete. It's just not your thing. But Dune 2 was the best movie that came out last year. It was nominated for Best Picture.
Congratulations.
But it did not win. And I feel I'm waiting for the day where a movie like that, a science fiction title like that, who gets nominated for one of these awards, actually wins it.
So what won? What won? If Dune didn't win,
Honora won.
Never even heard of it.
Yes. Honora, Mikey Madison from Scream. She played the lead in it. She's fantastic. And she won Best Actress too. Like everyone who won deserved their awards. I'm not saying they didn't. Honora was a fine film. But to me, it wasn't the best film.
When did it come out? I never heard of this movie.
I want to say the end of the summer, beginning of the fall. I want to say it was around that time of year it came out. I mean, it's regional for us. She plays a sex worker from Brighton Beach in Brooklyn. Like there's a a lot of
Russian
familiarity we would have with because it's from our area of the world, of the country. But I'm
more of a Hunts Point guy. I hang out in the Bronx. I'm more of a Hunts Point guy for the locals.
Well, the story is she falls in love with a guy who happens to be the son of a Russian family, and you find out the family's connected and stuff like that. And then the movie takes off from there.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's definitely worth watching. But I didn't think it was the best film, and I really
You
thought
would
Dune
you
2
would have
was the
went with
best
Dune.
film. Hmm?
You would have went with Dune.
Yeah, I would have went with Dune, and again, The Brutalist was fantastic as well, but it's 3.5 hours long, and I mean, I don't mind watching a good 3.5 hour movie, and it is a good movie, but I don't know. The Academy is always going to vote for
Mhm.
artsy films, right? They're always going to pick the more artistic. That's the way it's always been.
Just go kick their ass.
Um, and I just wish one day one of these movies would get not like I keep going back to The Dark Knight. I'm like, even if that movie was nominated, and most people would tell you that year was probably the best movie, it wasn't winning.
Mhm.
So, um, I don't know. Like, I feel like now they just do it because they have to, or like, oh, we'll throw them a bone and give them a nomination. But I never feel like they have a true chance at winning. So, award season is officially over though. Now, the Oscars ends award season. So, if you're not a fan of those things, you don't have to worry about them anymore. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to put that little note out there again. Congratulations to everyone who won. Not that they're going to hear this, but
Did
uh,
anything from the red carpet stand out?
I didn't watch the red carpet at all.
Okay.
Um, I had dinner planned, so I was out for the early part
Nice.
of the night.
Her name.
I was with my family. It was not with any.
Oh,
It wasn't a date. It was just with my family. We went out to dinner. So I was out the early part of the night, but I did come home to watch to fold clothes actually and watch the Oscars because that's what I was doing while I was watching the
that's
Oscars. I was folding my laundry. So
all
there you
right.
go.
There you go. That's an
But
eventful evening for Holzman.
yes. So I live such a glorious
That's what the
life.
audience
I know people,
here.
when I'm not traveling, my life is quite boring.
Are you
I'll just put it
tied?
that way.
Not the pods, but real tied.
Yeah, quite boring. Um, all right, so but we have a great show planned for you guys. We have something big starting this week, actually. I believe the 4th. I believe it starts on Tuesday. So tomorrow now. I believe it starts. Of course, the highly anticipated. Is it really a reboot? Relaunch? Whatever.
Well, we'll find out, right? We know
Yeah, I
what they've
guess
been
we'll find
telling us,
out.
so we'll find out. That's next.
Daredevil Born Again comes out on Tuesday. Um, some of our friends have already gotten to see some of it, so I'm a little jealous of them because I've heard really good things. They've said really good things about the first few episodes, and there was an article, as Pete in our rundown pointed out, in Entertainment Weekly, uh, kind of previewing it. And they spoke to Charlie Cox, they spoke to Vincent D'Onofrio, they talked to showrunner Dario Scardapane. You kind of got a good little idea of what it's going to be about. We know we're gonna see the old cast. Most of it will be back. So you're gonna see Foggy. You're gonna see Karen.
Yeah,
You're gonna
bro.
see
Yeah.
both of them come back. So there's a lot to get excited about. A lot of connectivity
And
there. We're going to see.
they just announced that Matthew Lillard joined the cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
yeah. That's like that made it
There you
out like
go.
Friday. So
Okay. All right. So there you go. You have Matthew Lillard coming on. So Pete, anything in the article that's that spoke to you or that you didn't know or something that you're like, oh wow, they did that? Anything you read that
it just seems like it's at its core. It's going to be more. It's going to be more of like it's Daredevil and Kingpin again, but it's almost kind of like they need each other now.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's I man, I just want to get these two back in the screen together, and I want to see what they're capable of doing. I'm trying to stay kind of spoiler free, a little
Me
more
too.
than normal. So like this is the first thing I really read in a while, but I kind of wasn't like I didn't want to really soak it all in because I just kind of want to go into this. I did rewatch a couple episodes of season two, mostly the Daredevil Punisher stuff because that's like to me that's like the gold, right? That's the best stuff. We all love that.
Yes, their scenes were fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just that's what's really getting me revved up. And yeah, just man, I can't believe I honestly can't believe this has happened. I can't. Like think about
I
it.
know.
This is this isn't like zaddy shit. This is like real shit,
I know.
this is dumb bullshit.
It's true.
The
When
fact
that
that
show
Daredevil came back, I'm
ended,
like really impressed.
yeah. When that show ended, I honestly didn't think they would ever bring it back.
Mhm.
I thought they'd want to go in a different direction, get their own Daredevil. If they were going to use the character, I thought more of the MCU in the MCU. I thought they would go in another direction. So the fact that it's not only him and D'Onofrio, but they're like bringing back Foggy and Karen and pretty much the vibe of the first Bernthal as well as Punisher, as you brought up.
I'm very curious to see if they can actually pull this off, though. Like, I know what they're telling us. I know they reshot things and they kind of rebooted itself within itself.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
really,
part of the article too. Yeah.
I'm interested to see if they can really care if it's any different. If they match it, we're hearing like it's like basically like season like what 3B. Like it's like a continuation of last season, right? Like so, it's like
Yeah.
all right, here
Yeah,
we
and they
go.
are going to be the second season 2 of this version is actually they're saying like season 1B of this reboot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an extension of the season. So this one only has 9 episodes, so we're going to get the rest of them after when they finish shooting it, which they are in production now, so they're shooting it now as well. Um it's just yeah. So Scartapane said something about like kind of explained it this way. He said both of them carry dark passengers inside of them. They're both wearing masks as they move through this story. Daredevil is wearing a Matt Murdock mask, and Kingpin is wearing a Wilson Fisk mask. That was one of the things that we really wanted to underscore that these two characters push each other's buttons in such a way that it releases those dark passengers. And I feel like that even the clip from the trailer we got of them talking in the diner that's kind of laid out for you. You can kind of tell, like you said, like they kind of need each other now for
It's
whatever reason.
it's kind of weird. They're like playing off that like kind of like you need me, and we're it's almost like they're addicted to it. They just need to like coexist in a way. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
it's part of why it's like okay, like this isn't bullshit. You guys actually did like rehaul this. There's like it's you could tell that it's just this. You guys are trying to do something a little bit deeper here. Right.
yeah,
I'm curious. Like I'm curious to what the original stuff was. Like, was it essentially kind of like was it goofy like Batman 66 season 3? Like, what was it like? Like, that's kind of what I'm expecting at this point,
yeah. They said
in a
they said
sense.
that COVID kind of did that for them. They were able to watch what they were doing and what they had shot, and that they really were. It
Was
was
it
the
more in
writer's
line
strike,
with
not
She
COVID.
Hulk than what it was Netflix? I'm curious.
Yeah, yeah. They said it wasn't COVID; it was a writer's strike. So they got to watch what they were doing, and they saw, yeah, this isn't really what we want, or it's not to the heart of who the character, who people knew the character to be, and they pivoted, and we're getting more of what we got on the Netflix show. So
Now, I'm only going to say this because now we know it's MCU.
yes,
This is MCU. And I'm going to ask you this, Eric Holzman. Will we see Spider Man?
well, yeah, well,
Well, because
we saw
that's what the
him.
MCU does, right? Like I would
Yes,
expect Spider-Man as he's swinging through Manhattan. Just saying, Hell's Kitchen is right next to Penn Station. It was just there.
you are right. Yes, you're correct. It's a good point, and we saw him in Spider-Man. So we saw in the last Spider-Man movie we saw Matt Murdock. So
Would you get pissed
it's
off if Spider-Man is not in? If would you get? Would you? Do you expect something? Someone?
maybe a reference, to him.
Mhm.
I don't know if they would do that, but they could. I mean, it is kind of a weird thing with a lot of the MCU stuff. You're like, well, they are in New York, so
That's what
like,
I'm
where's
saying.
this guy?
Would it essentially be the worst thing? I'm asking you if
Oh no,
Matt Murdock is an attorney, right? So and so walks out of the office, and that's kind of it. Like, and that's fine for me. Like,
yeah,
whoever it is, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, but
yeah,
a quick scene like that, a transition, I don't know. But because it's MCU, I am now at this stage of the MCU expecting somebody Manhattan based to show up.
yeah, and they do kind of hint at that in the article. They do say there's a couple of things to look out for. So yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Mhm.
And like I said, they planted the seed in No Way Home. He's there. He's his
Or it could
attorney.
Holland. It could just be Holland.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, don't
They
forget.
could. They very quickly could just meet up at a bodega for lunch. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's not
because
the.
right now, with after the spell, no one's supposed to know who he is.
I guess that's
So
true. Okay, valid point. Forgot
yeah.
about that. That's right. That's right. That's where we are. Still no one
So, but
knows.
no, but that could be a way that they reintroduce.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just
Yeah.
saying. What if Peter Parker delivers a pizza to uh, Nelson and Murdoch? Just saying.
No, and
Just-
Page now, and Page.
oh, that's right. Forgot. Sorry.
All three of them. Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah. So they're
Dude,
all
it's funny. It's coming back, dude. Oh man, no. I wonder how many people were threatened in this in this campaign. Oh,
That's a good
man.
point. Yes, we know that they're leaning into the Mayor Fisk storyline from the comic.
Which is great. I've enjoyed it.
Yep.
I enjoyed it very much.
So there's a lot of that in there. They give us a little bit more about Muse, who's going to be playing Muse. This
guy's back, man. Like it's literally like it's the gang's all back together, right? This is the reunion tour.
Yeah, and we're even getting the new Kamala Khan's father, Yusuf Khan, is in this. So there's a connection.
So
to
there you
Marvel.
go. That's it. That's part of it.
Yeah. So there's a lot they're gonna throw at us. Like I said,
there's Jersey City though.
Yeah, right? But Pete, it's not far.
I mean, I know that. I mean, she just has to hop the bridge.
So yeah. So I'm sure, yeah. Like I would not be surprised if she showed up. That would definitely be, since he's going to be in it. They did bring up, would they ever bring back Kristen Ritter and Mike Coulter, obviously Luke Cage and Iron Fist, Danny Rand, and Winterbaum, who's the head of Marvel Television, said, "I can't say much, but I'll tell you that it's so exciting to be able to play in that sandbox." So that kind of hints they have plans for them. Now, whether that means in this show,
doesn't Ritter have like a big movie coming out?
Who?
Doesn't Ritter have a big movie coming out?
Does she?
I thought she just got attached to something.
I didn't hear that.
I thought she did. Okay.
She might have.
Yeah, maybe she's on a comeback tour. I haven't heard much about her. I haven't heard much with her since Jessica Jones.
Me neither.
Any of the Defenders really outside of Daredevil, like I don't think.
Mike Coulter did that show. It's another kind of supernatural show. I think it might have been on ABC.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Can't remember the name of it, but I remember seeing the coming attractions for it.
Okay.
So I know he did something on, I think it was ABC, but I don't think it lasted. I think it got canceled. So
it's a bummer.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot. This article is very good. It's a very good preview. If you guys haven't read it, check it out on Entertainment Weekly. Does give you a really good primer for what's coming. Some of the stuff we discussed, there's a little bit more in there that you guys can check out. But not to be outdone, we mentioned Punisher, and apparently he's getting a one-off Disney Plus special. So John Bernthal is actually not only starring in it, he's also writing it. With Reynaldo Marcus Green, who wrote King Richard, directed King Richard, and he'll also be contributing to this. So it's going to be along the lines of the Werewolf by Night and stuff like that.
Dude, there's no way Bernthal toned this down. This is going to be insane that this is going to have Disney attached. I'm sorry, but there's no way he doesn't do that stuff. Like he's going to go at this hardcore.
Yeah, I don't think he would have come back to play the part if they were going to make him change.
Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty bad. Not bad, but like bloody bad.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I think it's going to be fantastic, but I'm like, the fact that Disney's name's going to be on this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that too now. Like this was not something I even knew about, so it's pretty cool that we're getting a little bit of one-off, and then maybe we'll see. Maybe the one-off will become, they'll do more Punisher too. I don't know.
I think it would be 3.
No, I mean like 2, not part 2. I meant.
Oh well, I think they did. I think Netflix did 2 seasons. I mean, if we're just going by the fact that like
they did.
So yeah, I would do that because I mean that second season with Jigsaw was pretty crazy. I was like, Jigsaw. I think I got that right.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I think a lot of exciting stuff around Marvel. Especially
with like the MCU recently. Like everyone hates it, but I had fun. Like I don't know. I still think I did thoroughly enjoy Captain America. I had fun with it. It was an enjoyable, quick action popcorn thing. What else did they come out with? I feel like I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen the Guardians movie, but I feel like Werewolf by Night. I have to see that.
That one. Yeah, the Guardians movie got good reviews, and I liked it. I thought it was
good
good
because you don't like the last one either.
Oh, I hated the second one.
We did it, yeah.
I hated the second one, but I did like the third one. So
Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. I didn't like what was it? Black Panther. Kind of. I didn't think it was. It's just kind of not my jam.
It was good, but it was just, it
was
kind of
an Ant-Man movie too.
I hated that anime movie.
Yeah. Now, I've actually, to be honest with you, everything I've seen from the MCU this phase, I've actually liked. It's Quantumania. I haven't seen Guardians, Marvels.
Love and Thunder wasn't good.
I enjoyed Love and Thunder. I really liked what she was doing there. Yeah, that's weird. I'm like the outlier.
I thought Bale was fantastic as the villain. Like he's one of my favorite villains in the MCU.
I liked Love and Thunder way more than Ragnarok. Did not like Ragnarok.
Yeah, I didn't love Ragnarok either.
And I love the TV shows. Like I had so much fun with She-Hulk. Like I was so happy they did that. I know no one else did, but I was.
I
really
liked it.
She-Hulk.
I enjoyed it.
Not a lot of people did.
Yeah, you're right. Not a lot of people did.
I loved it.
But I thought it was good. It was entertaining. I had a good time with it. It was nothing earth shattering. I liked Ms. Marvel too. I thought that was a good show.
Yeah, I had so much fun with that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Captain America Brave New World did have a huge second week drop, just like people were saying. It was like 69% or something like that. One of the biggest ever from a comic book film. I don't know. Like it does kind of make you wonder why, but I just think it's the thing we've been talking about with all these movies. I don't think one comic book movie house is housing all of the bad. I think just people are kind of like, well, how is that different? Why am I going to go see that?
Yeah.
You know?
It's definitely to be honest with you, it's so watered down. We need to go back to just the fact that we need Batman and Spider-Man. Like everyone else is going boss.
Well,
to be honest with you, like it's just
we're getting Superman. So
yeah, but we hope Superman breaks that mold. Traditionally, outside of like 78, it's kind of like it's a bit of a bummer, unfortunately. Like he didn't, Man of Steel didn't do what they wanted to, and they all freaked out.
Yeah, you're right.
Or did return.
But I see it even with the critics. Like you even see it with critics now. Like the things they say about when they talk about these movies, they'll say things like, "Oh well, it's more of the same," or "Oh," I'm like, "Well, what do you expect?" At the end of the day, it's a good versus evil story. All of these are good versus evil stories. So
I honestly just think they make too many characters get movies.
I agree.
At this point,
I agree. I think like you said, it's watered down because they're trying to keep it going. So you have to keep putting out content, and I'm hoping. Like I think I like the trailer for Superman. I really think it's going to be a movie. I think this specific Superman is going to resonate well with people.
Mm-hmm. Hope so.
But
it's got to.
Yeah, but I mean, will I be shocked if it doesn't? No, I won't.
Well, history says.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of like we're at this place in the genre where I wish they would do more things, not like Joker, because Joker is a villain. But
this Clayface stuff, dude, I don't want any part of this. I don't care about this Clayface movie at all.
No, but something like when we got, say, like V for Vendetta, right? We got something like that when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comic book film because it was, but not a lot of people like Road to Perdition. That's a comic book, and it's a movie. And I think you need to do things like that. Every once in a while, throw things out there that are comic books that people that may not know necessarily are comic books.
Right.
And
like
then
Atomic Blonde.
I like that too.
No, I'm serious. I have it on my shelf. I'm looking at it right now.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love this stuff. I just, but we did get to the point where Blue Beetle's getting a movie or got a movie, and it's like, man, we're all the way down there.
And it was better than it was given credit for. I think.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I have Blue Beetle flying in my basement. Jaime's great, but I'm like, there's a lot.
I have the popcorn backpack from AMC.
That was like, the third superhero movie that year. It's just, there's a lot of them that come out. And even with like the new DC plan, they're like, we're going to do 2 of these, we're going to do 2 of these and 2 of these. And it's like, that's a lot. It is. It's
that's their plan. So you brought it up. So let's go there next. You brought up the plan. So
people love the plan. People love the plan.
It's true. People want a plan. They're always asking, "What's your plan?" You never have a plan. That was always the thing, right?
Yeah, they don't have a plan. The plan always changes, and it's like I don't even care. Just I want to get to reviews. I don't care about your plan. The review of the movie is what matter.
Yeah.
Does everyone hate it? Do we all like it? That's really it. To be honest with you, I don't care about your plan. I care about your reviews.
I agree. That's a good. You're right. Whatever they release, I care about how it's received.
How it's received.
So that's really what I care about.
Because I'm pretty sure I'll like it. But
So we had heard there obviously were stories and stuff coming out, or things we heard that they wanted to do, like Booster Gold and like a couple other titles that now we're hearing they're kind of putting the brakes on. Um, Waller was one of them. The Authority, which we talked about the last show that we did. Um, shows like that
And he shoved a character
might.
in there.
Hmm?
He shoved the engineer in there so he can promote the next movie. Like, it's like they're trying
Yeah.
to be the MCU again, and it's just like,
Well, that's been from the beginning. They said this was going to be a shared universe, so that's they told us that from the jump.
mm-hmm.
So
It's just not going to be linear. That's the thing. The
yeah,
MCU for the most part's linear, except for like Captain Marvel and Captain America, right?
yep. The Swamp Thing, James Mangold's Swamp Thing, that you said, I know you were interested in seeing what they were going to do there. That's kind of been put on the back burner, and then of course the one that we all care about the most is Batman. Um, as we heard last week, Matt Reeves has not submitted a full script, so James Gunn said that's why nothing has gone forward with it yet.
To be
But he said
honest,
what
I'm
they.
less worried about the Batman than anything. To be honest, like I know I know it sucks that we have to wait for it, but I honestly, that thing's getting made. It's going to get made.
Oh, it's gonna get made. But the interesting thing from this story that came out was, for me anyway, was that Gunn apparently Gunn's gonna do whatever the next Batman is. He's going to write it.
I think he's writing it right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right?
I think
you don't believe him when he's like, "Oh, we have the writer. We just haven't told you who it is yet."
well, that's what he says. He's like, I'm working very closely with the writer. Well, who's closer than himself? Like, he's probably the one writing it.
I mean, I
I'm
don't
sure.
know. Is that kind of why he took this job?
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
I think to get this right, Superman obviously, and then Batman, right? You got to get those two right. So if that's what he wants to do, but it was interesting that in that little roundup it was at the Warner Brothers lot. They did some kind of thing. I don't even know what it was, but and him and Safran both spoke about it, and it was just interesting to him that he actually brought up Batman, and they mentioned Muschietti, and they said that apparently it doesn't seem like he's involved in the writing of it.
No, they're gonna
But
like offer him the chance to direct it, and he's not
right, like
directing
they
shit.
said they're gonna
Dude,
show
this thing like
him
ping pongs more
whatever.
than anything.
Yeah. So they're gonna show it to him, whatever it is. And there's been a lot of rumors out there regarding other projects. Like my friend sent me this whole video yesterday on the Flash.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, first of all, I haven't even heard Gunn mention the Flash, but okay. So I watched the video and they go into the whole thing about, you know, Grant Gustin still, and I'm like, and I told him, I said, just ignore all of this. It's
Yeah, I don't know
just,
why Grant Gustin was mentioned in that article.
yeah. I was like, I don't trust me. None of this is gonna happen.
Dude, I
Um,
honestly think Muschietti directed The Flash just to direct Keaton's Batman, and I think he's just that's it. Like I think he just had the fanboy moment and he saw a chance to do it and he did it. That's what I think. I don't think he's directing this Raven. I'm back now to thinking he's not directing the Raven Bolt again after this article.
well, he might to finally be the director, but right now I would agree. I don't think he is at the moment. Um, he's the one that was mentioned, so I think that's why people are gonna keep bringing him up. But so far, all we know that we're getting is Superman, Supergirl, Lanterns, and now this Clayface project, and Peacemaker, obviously, Peacemaker 2. That's it. That's
I'm
the
content with that.
only things that we know are coming.
I'm content with that
Um,
because I think all that stuff's going to get made. Lanterns is being filmed right now.
yeah,
Peacemaker will be filmed. John Cena's
Supergirl is being filmed.
Supergirl's being filmed. Was it Cena's right now doing some wrestling thing? He's apparently so people have been talking about that online a lot. So I imagine when he's done
Yep.
with that, Peacemaker's on deck. So okay, and like you said, Gunn's writing Batman. Gunn's writing like I think he's writing Brave and Bold. So I also don't really care either because it's like, well, that movie's still so far away, and like they're waiting for whatever Reeves to do, and I'm just like, you know what, like the closest thing still is the Batman part two. So I'm like, I'm just kind of focused on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm not gonna. I'm not like you. We've said many times we've been fooled by them before, so we're
Mm.
not gonna get excited about anything until we hear there's a script and then it's in production.
I did get excited from that Green Lantern photo, though.
Yes, I agree with that. That was a
That got
very
me
cool
excited because I'm
photo.
like, wow, there's finally evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, and you saw the like Chandler's ring, Kyle Chandler's wearing the ring, or Hal's wearing the ring.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Um,
It was great to see something, because
that
it's
was a
just like they've
pretty
been so
awesome
afraid
photo.
of Green
So
Lanterns.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Um, very excited by what we're getting. So I mean, you're right. I can't believe it's actually happening, but it is. It's coming.
We finally got it. Even just that one photo. I was like, man, it's just a photo, but it's something, and it's like I can't. I honestly was like, I can't believe we're here. It's
I
kind of
know.
shocking. It's not. It's almost as shocking as Daredevil. Like it's kind of crazy. The two of them, they're two totally different things, right? Like one's kind of a revival, and one's kind of like was on life support for so long, and there were so many different versions. And then they weren't they going to do one when it was just DC was just an app, right? They had like a whole Guy Gardner thing planned. AT&T did. Like
Yes.
they had a lot of stuff
Yes,
planned
they
for that
did.
never really
Yes,
came
they
out.
did. They did.
You know,
They had yeah, one was it was gonna be Guy Gardner. Um wasn't there another lantern mentioned in one of them?
there was something, but they ended up doing a Green Lantern cartoon, and it's
Yeah.
My Adventures of Green Lantern, which I'm kind of like, ooh, so I wonder if there's like a My Adventures universe out there, you
Is
know?
that the Jessica Cruz one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, if there's a My Adventure, because I really like My Adventures with Superman. If they want to do and I know we just got Cape Crusader, but a My Adventures with Batman would be cool.
Yeah, those would be I, agree. Those would kind of
I
be
know
cool
they
little
didn't
stories
announce a
to do. The
Batman. I'm just
Superman
saying,
one's
like,
very good.
the fact that they got the Green Lantern thing, and it just, the My Adventures part gets it. I'm like, ooh, okay, this is fun. I'm all for this. I
Yeah,
love
like
Jessica
to create
Cruz.
that something with that title kind of leads you in and you're like, "Oh, because you like said the Superman one's pretty good." So, yeah,
And they did
I'd
two
be fine with
seasons
them
of
doing
that.
something like that.
They're up to they're doing the third season now, right? They're like
Yes.
putting together.
Yes. The third season's coming up.
Second season was good. I like
So,
that
yeah.
cartoon.
So we're getting, like I said, we're getting a lot of we're getting a lot of content uh from DC, but stuff that we know is coming. Like we're getting the stuff that they said was coming. So
Well,
that's a
that's a
good
good
thing.
thing.
Except for except for a couple things like Waller. I don't think they're going to abandon having Viola Davis on a show, so I think it will happen. Um and obviously
I'm
it's this
glad the
Peacemaker.
authorities put to the back burner. To be honest with you, I had no interest in that. Who cares?
Yeah, I
I hope that
agree.
character has such a small part in Superman that she's irrelevant. To be brutally honest, I don't care about that character.
I agree.
That's an
It's
example of a movie that probably shouldn't be made too stupid of a group. Just it's watered down. Let's stick to the basics here.
I mean, we got you. In my head, I'm like, we got you did Creature Commandos. We got that right. So
Yeah,
let's
that's fine. We'll get you
let's
take.
stick the other
He
one
can do all the
right.
stupid cartoons he wants.
Right.
I don't need another team of whatever. Just give me regular. Give me the A-listers, please.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we mentioned Clayface, and that is coming. Apparently James Watkins from the Speak No Evil movie is going
Hmm.
to be directing. Obviously, the script is from Mike Flanagan, who is fantastic. These are two horror guys as well, so that's kind of the way I'm thinking they're gonna go with this.
I don't know, man. I'm done with this stuff. Clayface is the villain of a movie. He's not the main character. I shouldn't be sympathetic towards. I don't know. I mean, I could totally be swayed. It could be absolutely amazing of a movie, but like, I'm done after Joker 2. Like, I'm done with these villain movies, man. Can we please just? I want Batman to take. I'll have a Batman Clayface movie. I would be interested in. I'm not interested in this sympathetic Clayface, anti-hero thing.
Yeah, I mean, I right now I would say probably not, but I don't know what it's about. I have no.
That's fine. I'm just
So
it's not going to get me jazzed up unless it's like you go there and it's like, oh man, that was a cool horror movie, but like,
I'm waiting to kind of hear where they're gonna go with this. Um, with that one, so I'm kind of in a wait and see mode with it, but
well, it's just
yeah, I'm
interesting
not.
because like they say it's DCU, but Matt Reeves' hands are all over a production. Like he's got his name attached to all these Batman things. It's like, what is it then? Like like this is where like the Reeves contract gets really tricky apparently.
Yeah, but we'll see. He's producing it, yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right, maybe it's in that universe.
I don't think it's in
The
his universe though.
the
They said
Batman
DCU.
universe.
I don't know. It just seemed I don't know.
It does say that, but it's that to me is an overarching term for everything.
That's fair.
Right? Like I think the Batman is part of the DCU. It might be the Black Label or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
But
that's what Bill was trying to tell me. He's like the Batman's the. I was like, no, that is Batman. It doesn't get more Batman than the Batman. It's not Elseworlds. I don't care what you tell me.
So,
oh man.
Well, we know, as we've been talking about since we've heard this movie was being made, we know how important Superman is, and so does DC Studios because they have tagged Ricky Strauss to consult on the marketing. Now, he previously headed up Apple TV. He's been involved in some huge projects for them. He was at Disney Plus before that. He's done campaigns for Star Wars and The Jungle Book and Maleficent, Beauty and the Beast, Moana, a ton of other things. So they understand as well how important this is.
I mean, I guess this is important. They wrote an article on it. Like that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I've never heard of this, like a marketer getting an article in a trade before. So I guess this guy's a big deal. I guess this is a big deal that he's doing this, and I feel like it just shows that they're going to try with Superman. They're going to try to give it a good shot here. So we'll see if it works.
Yeah, and Safran even said that in the article. He's like, we are like leaving no stone unturned. We're we're really going full bore to make this thing work. So,
which makes me think they know what's at stake. Like they can't. Like honestly, they can't fail. They can't.
No, they have to get people, regardless of what the critics say. I think people have to watch this movie. They have to get people in the theaters to see it. But you're right. That was the interesting thing. The most interesting thing that we got an article in a trade about a marketing guy being attached to consult on Superman. So
that's a first for me.
Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing that. I mean, we've seen things where people like marketing studios might get attached, but not a full headline. It's like embedded in an article. This was a full headline. So very interesting stuff.
I mean, you're used to headlines. You're a headliner.
I wish I was.
You are.
But
Eric
I can't even take that.
At A&G Bagels, Friday. From 10 to 6. Spreading your locks.
A&S Bagels.
That's it.
Love A&S Bagels.
What's your favorite? What's your go-to bagel?
I like the French toast one that they have. They have a French toast bagel that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'm kind of just an everything bagel or garlic bagel with scallion cream cheese.
Okay.
It's kind of my thing.
All right. I'm a big lox.
What about you? What's your go-to?
I love, dude, it's sesame bagel, lox, cream cheese, tomato, caper, onion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't like fresh tomatoes, so I wouldn't do that. But everything else I could get down with.
Yeah.
I can get down with it.
That's my jam. My lox bagel.
Sounds good.
It's fantastic.
Yep. Lox is tricky for some people.
It sucks for them. It sucks for them. It's delicious.
All right, so we were talking about the DC slate and stuff that's coming, but Marvel also is apparently pausing some of their stuff. So remember when we heard that they were going to do a Nova project? Well, they're saying that they were never officially greenlit, but we heard about it. But now they've kind of shifted
so much crap they can't keep track of their shit.
Right? Yeah. So they've kind of paused that. The Nova project, Strange Academy, and Terror Inc. So if anyone was looking for those things, you might not be getting them because right now they're paused. But this is what Brad Winderbaum, again, the head of Marvel's TV streaming and animation, put out a little blurb. He said, we're developing more than we make right now. So we actually have a few different things brewing that we might see through to at least a pilot script to see if we want to make it. But there's a lot of opportunity out there. It's hard to choose favorites. We're really being careful about what we choose to do next. Now, it's weird talking about these two houses because Marvel kind of still has that luxury that they can do stuff like that, where DC really doesn't.
There's so much goodwill.
Right? So I don't know about any. Like, I'm obviously not well versed on any of those projects, so I wasn't looking forward to them. But if anyone was, they're not coming anytime soon.
I just think that Marvel's doing a huge pivot lately. It's very interesting to just kind of see it happen unfold because they've been on top for so long, and it's weird. They're really kind of trying to just stay afloat here, not because they're just not letting it go. I think they hear the DC footsteps. Like I think there's a real chance that DC can make some noise and make some headway for the first time in a long time. Like, there's always been a huge gap between the two, but the DC's got a shot here with some quality stuff to really kind of steal some thunder from them.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean, you're not
First
wrong
time in a long
because
time, man. This is it, man. This is their chance to really kind of grab some headlines and move forward. Like if Superman's a huge hit, and the Thunderbolts has got to be huge. I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts, to be honest with you. I know I said I'm done with villains, but I mean, I love David Harbour. I loved watching Ghost in the Ant-Man sequel. So like, and what's her name? Taskmaster's back. So I totally butchered that name. Just cottonmouth. Yeah, just dude, I was really looking forward to seeing these villains in this movie. That's oddly enough, but as I was done with solo villain, I guess it was more like solo, like I don't know, weird take villains. But
I'm still trying to understand the Bucky angle and all of it, but we'll see.
yeah, especially since with where you see him in Captain America,
right?
Well, I guess he could kind of be a Waller-esque figure.
Sure.
You could see it, and have a little bit more of an active role. So. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think DC can really make some headway here, man.
Yeah, it's we're kind of in a weird period where, like, if Superman hits, they probably will have the biggest hit in the comic book world.
Yeah, and eventually we'll get to the Batman 2, and that'll be another thing, and they'll have to get their Spider-Man in order.
Well, that's coming. That they are doing a fourth one.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the biggest hero they got left is Spider-Man.
Oh, definitely. Right? I mean, Spider-Man's always their biggest hero.
They're not going to do anything with Hulk.
So I know, and it's kind of sad because when
they have the X-Men in the pocket, they have the ace at the sleeve.
Yeah, but when you see like what they did with Red Hulk and in Captain America, and how we've talked about, that was a sequel to the Hulk, essentially, to that Hulk movie.
Yeah, quasi sequel.
It would have been kind of cool to see Banner show up. But speaking of, I posted the leaked concept art on our page.
I noticed that T'Challa was present. That's interesting.
Yeah. You see Star-Lord in it. You see Vision. You see them on Planet Hulk.
Scar.
Yeah, with Scar.
Sakaar,
so it was interesting.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember. Was it Scar, Sakaar? It was something like that. It was like it was something Hulkian.
I thought it was Scar.
It's something like that. It sounds like that. I'm gonna get killed for this, but I can't remember it. It's Sunday morning, night. I work just a 60-hour week. I'm done. I work 7 days. I can't remember this guy.
Yeah. We'll forgive you for not knowing a whole character. But yeah, I mean, if they're doing that, that stuff looks kind of cool. So it's just concept art, yeah, but it was cool to kind of see stuff coming from Doomsday and the Doctor Doom in the throne room, and then the one he's just sitting on the chair. It's pretty cool pictures. So if you guys haven't seen those, I posted them.
I'm sure the Russo brothers drew them by hand.
Well, if they did, they can draw, because those pictures were pretty well drawn.
They should become artists.
I'll give them credit for that.
Yeah, I'll give them credit for making more money than me. I'll give them that. That's all I'll give them. They make more money than me.
This Italian on Italian crime has to stop.
I'm pretty sure they're from Sardinia.
Has to stop. Okay, well, moving along to another franchise. Let's move to another franchise, a beloved franchise. Talking about the James Bond franchise. Now, we had heard recently that Amazon is taking over completely now as producers of the Bond franchise.
I don't know if that's good or bad, man.
I don't think it's good, but we'll see. I mean, these things happen. So, Jeff Bezos threw out there, who would you pick as the next James Bond? And of course, our favorite,
The world's greatest actor.
yes, our favorite used to be Superman.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain. Henry Cavill is getting the most love from the fans. And funny thing is, he actually auditioned for it when Daniel Craig got the job. And they said it's funny, they said back then they just thought he was too young. So would now be a good time? Is he old enough?
Andrew Garfield should be Bond.
Oh, that would be an interesting choice.
I don't know. I don't know who should be Bond, to be honest with you.
He'd be more in the lines of the Timothy Dalton version of Bond if Garfield did it.
I
Like
don't
I
watch
see
the Dalton movies enough, to be honest with you. I really never watched those. I watched a lot of Moore, Connery, and Pierce.
Yeah, the Dalton movies they're better than you think. Like when I first watched them when I was younger, I just didn't really care for them. But
I never really watched them.
I've seen them since, and they're not that bad.
I'll check them out. I want to. I can't say they're bad. I don't remember, but I want to check them out. I grew up on a lot of Roger Moore. I know Connery was probably the most popular.
That's who I grew up on, Roger Moore.
But I felt like Moore's movies were always on TV.
Yep. Well, other Pete guys have been thrown around. Someone threw out Tom Cruise. I'm like, Tom Cruise is almost 70. Can we stop with the Tom Cruise stuff?
What if Tom Cruise played an older Bond?
James McAvoy was thrown out there.
He'd be good.
He might be good. But of course, like we said, Henry Cavill was the one who got the most support.
I'm down for Cavill.
When you think of the look of James Bond, I think he's perfect. He really would be a perfect choice.
Yeah.
But
I always thought Bond was a little bit more everyman looking in terms of just like Cavill's a big man. He's a muscular dude. You know, I thought Craig was more in lines of what I thought Bonds looked like physically. Cavill's just
he was
beefy.
Yeah, maybe. That's fair. But I mean, when you think about a good looking, I dare to use this term now, but it's really what he was, womanizing character. I mean, Henry Cavill's a good looking guy. Everything you'd want.
Can you do a British accent?
Not really.
Because you'd be perfect.
Shut up. Well, that's the other thing I think of. Like, we always have, English actors have played our heroes for years. Can an American play James Bond?
If they can do the accent, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I guess. But would they do that? That's the thing. Like, I don't know if they would. I feel like to some people that's kind of like church, and you can't, right?
Well, we'll have Trump sign an executive order, and he'll just get it done. Him and Bezos are tight, and it'll get done. He'll sign the executive order that American has to play James Bond.
He's doing a lot of that lately too, so just slide it in there.
Yeah,
he doesn't even remember what he's writing them either. He's like,
an American Bond. It's what we've all wanted.
Gulf of America, American James Bond. I see where we're going with this.
I would like Feige to rename Avengers Tower to Trump Tower.
That's only because he could sue him for trademark infringement. We already have a Trump Tower.
Not in the MCU. They don't even have Oscorp. They don't have Trump Tower.
That's true. So that was it. It was just an interesting little thing. I'm not surprised to see that Cavill though got like the most votes. I think a lot of people have wanted him to be British James Bond
actor to even try. I wouldn't even know. I don't know. Like I don't even know the guy who could. Yeah, I can't who could pull it off. But I don't know. Like I feel like I'm just worried about the production. Like, is this going to come off decent?
The guy who does the Range Rover commercials, and he's on the Netflix. Is the Netflix version of the? Why am I forgetting the name of the show?
The wrong tree here.
Oh God! But he would be a good James Bond. I can't think of his name right now.
Maybe Liam Hendricks for the Red Sox. Actually, I think he's Australian.
He's Theo James. That's his name, Theo James.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, I think he would be a good James Bond.
What we'll see.
We'll see where they go.
Too old.
He might be too old now, but he's probably not that much older than Henry Cavill. Well, now that I think about it, I don't know. We'll see.
What would you take, a Bale Bond or another Bale Batman? For me, it's an easy choice. I'm going Batman. Sorry.
I think I'd rather see him as Bond,
Fair.
only because I don't know what. I mean, I guess if there was a good story to tell with his Batman, I'd be fine with it.
I mean, Nolan will
But-
come up with anything. Sleep. He's Nolan. Nolanite. Nolan will come up with anything. You know, he's a brilliant man.
Well, for a while, people wanted Nolan to direct James Bond too, so it'd be interesting.
Maybe Nolan does it for Amazon.
You think?
I don't know. I feel like Nolan's like, this will piss off Warner Brothers.
I mean, I think it's still obviously it'll still be released. It wouldn't be released on Amazon Prime. If they ever did that, I think people would stop going to the franchise.
Oh, what if they did a streaming Bond like show?
They could do
Would
something
you
like
be
that.
opposed to that?
No, I think you could do a young James Bond show like that.
Single 07?
Yeah.
Right before he got the double? I don't know. Is that how the British?
It's not how it works, but okay. You don't gain zeros as the longer you stay in the role.
I don't know, man. It's the other side of the river. Or pond, I'm sorry.
All right. Finally, let's end with a little bit of animation news. We're getting a release of the Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League. We have a release date for it. Sorry. It'll arrive on digital on March 18th and then on Blu-ray on April 15th. So
check that out. That was interesting.
Didn't you cover the Batman Ninja?
I did, right? For Batman on Film.
It
was interesting. Back when they did like red carpet things, we used to do those. Remember? Those were fun.
Yeah.
COVID killed all that stuff. You know,
yeah, it was cool.
Blast. But yeah, I covered that was actually my first one, Batman Ninja. It was a good time.
Did you like the Batman Ninja?
It was cool. It was different. It's it's not traditional Batman. I kind of liked how it was very different and something I just out of my comfort zone. Like I'm not a big anime guy either. So like altogether, Batman, mechs, and anime. It's not really my jam. But this was interesting, and I'm glad they're not going to the well too often. I'm kind of happy it took 6-7 years to make a second one.
Yeah,
I think that's for something like this. That's kind of the acquired taste. I think that's the perfect amount of time to. Oh, it's been a while. I'll revisit the original. Right. I'll check this out. I'll waste $15. So, yeah, I'll check this thing out for sure.
I think my favorite one that they did like that was Gotham by Gaslight. I really liked that.
That's a good one. I really enjoyed that.
That was well done.
And they changed it a little bit so you didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Like what they did with Hush, which is a classic. Love that book. Love that movie.
Yeah. And that's coming too, right? Hush 2 is coming.
Hush 2 is coming out, yeah. You know, so I'm excited about that. If you're in the Batman on Film Facebook group, everyone's been torturing Bill about it, so that's been fun.
Yeah, I know he's not a huge fan of Hush.
He's not, but he's got a bulletproof shield. He's good.
All right, well, we're at the end of the road for this one.
You can follow me socially at Pete Illustrated. You can follow us on X at straight_O_G. Check us out there. That's where all our news is posted. Check out my Spider-Man show, Spider-Man Coalition. And I'm all over BatmanOnFilm.com, and Brian Lauer's The Batman Book Club. So check all that. Well, we got to get you back on the Batman Book Club. First of all, it's literally been years since you've been there. So got to get Holzman back on the old comic show. I haven't finished it yet,
but I'm reading Resurrection. But you guys probably talked about it already.
Well, I think you did a show with Hoss on it, but Resurrection's very good. Are you enjoying it? Speaking of Clayface,
yeah, I am.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I am enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I was surprised at how good and how much I enjoyed it. And, it just kind of fit really well. It was a wonderful piece, addition to the Burton legacy there.
Yeah, I'd have to think of something. But
you talk to Lauer. Talk to Lauer. Give Lauer a call. He misses you.
I should reach out.
He needs some schnitzel. Give him a little schnitz. Give him some schnitz.
All right, guys. You can find me on Twitter, as you know, at Finally33, spell Finale33. All nicked up. Again, my show about the New York Knicks, my live stream every Wednesday night at 6:30, 7 o'clock, usually Eastern time. on X, on YouTube, and on Facebook Live. Check us out over there.
Are you on Blue Sky yet? Are you on like Blue Sky or Threads or anything?
I'm on Blue Sky personally. Yes,
Okay.
same Finally 33 handle on Blue Sky.
I have a handle. I never use it though.
Oh, you joined finally?
Well, I everyone always tells me like, you just get on there and get your handle. So just in case you do use it, you have your handle. It's kind of like your online name. You should probably keep it for somebody steals it from you. So that's what I did, really.
Yeah,
that's what I still have Bureau too.
I didn't even know that still existed.
So. Yeah, dude, Zaddy baby.
I feel like that's the Truth Social of comic book movie.
I have a Truth Social account as well. I followed the president. That's where he posts. I gotta, I was like,
that's true. That is where he posts.
That's
yes.
Like, all right, well, I got to hear what you're saying. You're the president. Not to get too, left crew on this show, but just saying, I got to go where the information is, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Not that you couldn't just like flip through any channel and hear it, but yes, you could.
I mean, that's true, but he doesn't post on Twitter as fast as he does the truth.
No, he's back on it, but yeah, I agree. I don't see it as much there, so
gotta stay up to date. He's a busy man.
Yes, in more ways than one. Yes, he's a busy man. So, all right, everyone, we're gonna shut this one down. So for Pete, I'm Eric. You're listening to Straight Outta Gotham, and we will see you next time.
Booyah!
Soundstripe. Have faith. Have faith. Believe in your source. Have faith. Have faith. Soundstripe. Have faith. Believe in your source. Have faith.